Hey guys, this is RMD Tech and today we're going to be looking at the DeepCool Baronkase Liquid in white. It's a budget orientated gaming case, however it does have a few cool interesting tricks up its sleeve. For instance, it comes with, included in the box, in fact even included already inserted into the case, a 120mm Rgb liquid cooling setup with a built-in flow meter. Now that looks fantastic. Not only that, but it does some interesting things with the power supply, which we'll touch on a little bit later. But you can't really take my opinion as any sort of credible value unless I've actually built something in this case. So that's what I'm going to do now, and cut to that. Okay, so despite the fact that yes, I've used an MATX motherboard, which would allow me to mount the power supply in the sort of stereotypical position down in the bottom tray, I've decided that I'm still going to try and mount it at the front of the case, so that sort of behind this panel here, so that we can make the most of the main feature of this case and sort of how cool it is. So we don't have any sort of disgusting cables showing down in this area here. We can hide it all the way back here. As you can see, I have gone ahead and mounted a micro ATX motherboard into the chassis. However, you are able to mount a full ATX motherboard as well, and the way they make that possible is by allowing you to move the power supply to where you would usually sort of traditionally keep your 5¼ inch drive bays. Now they do that by running an extension lead from the bottom of the case right round to back to the top. But what makes this case really interesting is the other things you get with it. For instance, you get DeepCool's signature water cooler. Now, granted it is only 120mm and not 240mm, however it does come with a flow meter, something that you would not be able to get if you were to purchase this outside of this case. It is exclusive to this case and you cannot purchase it separately. Now, as you can see from the footage on the screen at the moment, it looks amazing and it synchronises with all the Rgb lighting in the rest of the case. For instance, at the front of the case on the little black strip where it says Gamer Storm, as well as on your actual CPU block and on the fan for the radiator as well. Now, if you're into LAN parties and that kind of thing, this case might be of particular interest to you. As you can see now, there is a actually built-in handle which allows you to transport the case with ease, especially considering it's actually much lighter than you might expect. However, if you don't like this handle, it can actually be easily removed with the 4 screws, and it looks just like a normal case without a handle at that point, so it's sort of a you love it or you hate it, keep it or you don't, it looks fantastic either way. No true gaming system is complete without an SSD, and DeepCool know that, which is why you've got two 2.5 inch spaces available for your SSD. There is one right above the flow rate indicator, which looks amazing when you've got an SSD in there, as well as one on the back of the motherboard case as well, which sort of allows you to hide it away. As you can see, I'm not actually using an SSD, I'm just using a laptop 2.5 inch hard drive in here, because I haven't actually got any spare SSDs lying around. So one thing which does slightly annoy me about this case is the cable management grommets. You don't actually get very many included, you only get 4, which is a bit lacking considering there's about 7 or 8 holes on the motherboard tray. So it would be nice if DeepCool included some more in the box, or even more installed in the case by default, and you could take them out and put them in as you choose. However, it's not going to be too big of a deal because you can always pick one up on eBay if it means that much to you. But there are a few good cable management options around the back of the motherboard tray as well. For instance, you do get some GamerStorm branded cable tidies, which are nice and they hold all your cables together when you're doing cable management. As you can see, I definitely have not done any cable management, but if this was your system, I'm sure you would, because you're not as disgusting as I am. The case doesn't actually come with any front intake fans, so I'd probably recommend you pick some of those up if you are going to be doing anything, well, powerful inside the system, because you really want to be able to make the most of that included water cooling unit, and the best way to do that is to make sure you've got good airflow going all the way through your case. So definitely pick up 1 or 2 120mm fans and stick them in the front of your case. The Rgb lighting system also has several different colour lighting modes, including colour cycle, flashing, pulsing and rainbow. The included Rgb has only 5 colours, but you can usually find one of them that will match your system quite well, and you also have the option to turn it off completely using the power button on the top of the system. Now, when I say the power button, I don't mean the system power button. There is a separate power button just for the Rgb lighting. So if you hate Rgb and you hate 2018, then that is your ideal opportunity to get rid of it. Speaking of the front I/O, you do get a headphone and microphone jack, as well as a power and reset button. So if you did enjoy that video, please do make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to leave a comment if you do have any feedback or suggestions, or you have any questions you want to ask me. Now, not only that, but if you did enjoy my content and you want to see more of it in the future, please do make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out.